What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Jeremy Scott Fitness Podcast Radio Show. Coming to you on this Friday afternoon here before I hop into my own workout. Busy little Friday for me. Had the opportunity to coach a group at the Vicera event here down in Old Town Scottsdale today. Kind of a 3-day fitness, yogi, nutrition event immersion of yogis, fitness people, fitness enthusiasts, some fitness professionals. And they brought me in to talk to you guys and kind of coach through a session and hang out and meet some of you. And I'm always very humbled by it. And I mean that. I'll never get over it. The fact we're on a group text the other day with BJ Gador and Alexia Clark and myself, and we're texting each other like, man, can you believe we get paid for this shit? And it still kind of baffles me to this day that anybody would want to hang out with me and talk to me and do fitness with me and get my advice on things and listen to things I'm saying. And not that, again, that we don't die for this business and in this life. I've given up a lot for this craft, to the study of movement and of people and of nutrition and of lifestyle. And I don't have a hobby. I pour myself into it. But still, even with that said, it's very humbling to me. And I take it, with the utmost respect for you guys. And I appreciate you for supporting us and listening to us and doing the things that we do. And I'll never get over the fact that people want to literally pay money to hang out with me. It really just is fucking mind-blowing. So thank you guys. I truly do appreciate it. I don't know how else to thank you guys and say that I'll keep trying to put out super dope shit that helps you and makes your life better in every single way so you can be a better husband, wife, brother, sister, family member, coworker, and just a person in the world, making it a better place. So thank you guys. You truly are, kind of like the oxygen and the gasoline that keeps my fire rolling every single day. So thank you for that. And today's podcast, we're going to talk intermittent fasting, but we're going to talk about the 3 biggest mistakes that I see beginners make. I'm going to read through my show notes here from an original blog I wrote by the notes, looks like 2012 or 2013. So, man, I'm getting old as shit. But I've been around a long time, and I've been fasting for over a decade now, so I feel like I can talk on it with some level of expertise anyways. And we've been coaching people through it for many years. And again, side note, we have an intermittent fasting for fat loss challenge coming up on March the 11th. I think you guys can register by like the 8th or the 9th. So if you're interested, it's in my Instagram bio. Shoot me an email, reply to this podcast, say, hey, Jeremy, I'm interested in learning more about intermittent fasting. I want to do the 28-day fasting challenge with you. We'll get you guys in. We kind of meet you where you're at. It's all online. Obviously, if you're in Scottsdale, you can come in here and train with us if you do it. But we coach it through a private group. We give you guys all the email content. We talk kind of 3 different eating protocols and styles. So like kind of beginner, intermediate, advanced if you want to jump into the fasting world. And I think you guys will learn a lot. I think you'll learn more in 28 days than some of you guys have probably learned in 28 years about food and macros and eating and timing and, setting windows and making it fit your lifestyle. And I'm not going to say intermittent fasting, has changed my life. Well, I will say it has changed my life. I don't know if it saved my life, but it's changed my life most definitely. And without it, or prior to it, if you will, I didn't feel good. I wasn't healthy. It really helped simplify my life. I went from eating every 2 hours to feeling, bloated, fat, disgusting, lethargic, like I had, a brick in my stomach, farting 45 times a day, going to the bathroom irregularly. It just really, I wasn't a healthy person. And now that I do it and I'm on a regimented schedule, it's way easier for me to be lean and to stay lean 24/7, 365. I don't really think about food like most people do. It's easy for me to just plug and play, wash, rinse, repeat, and just live, in a body I'm comfortable with. But I feel good every single day. The byproduct is I can look however I want to look, but I feel good every single day. I have energy, I have clarity, and I think a lot of you guys will find the same. So if you're interested, hit me up, let me know. We're going to kick that off here on March the 11th, and I think it'll be well worth your guys' time. And again, I wouldn't be this lean every single day and be able to film videos and show up to photo shoots and video shoots on 2 days notice because I don't have to bulk and cut. I just kind of live in a lean body 24/7. So I enjoy it and I love it. It's really changed the way I live my life. I think you can do the same for a lot of you guys too. So with that said, the 3 biggest mistakes I see people make with fasting. And again, just real quick for you guys who aren't familiar, intermittent fasting is just you guys eating in a confined window. It doesn't have to be every single day. Mine is. I've been doing it for over a decade. I typically eat all my meals between 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. When I first started out, I went like 11 to 7. and then like 12 to 8, and then I've shifted the windows here or there. Sometimes I do a full 24-hour fast. Sometimes I live in that 3 to 6 window, or 3 to 9, whatever it may be. Most days I eat 2 meals. Like today, for example, I'm busy. It's already 4:15. I'm probably just gonna eat 1 meal and call it a day. And I feel okay that way, and it works for me. I'm not saying that what you guys have to do, but that's what has worked best for me. If you want to hear more in detail about how I eat or fasting in general, we have an earlier podcast called How I Eat Daily, and we have another one just on intermittent fasting in general. But what I'll say is this. The 3 biggest mistakes I see people make when they start intermittent fasting is they fear being hungry, even a little bit. And again, we all get hungry, just part of life, whether you guys practice intermittent fasting or you eat out of Tupperware every 2 hours like a bodybuilder. You're going to be hungry from time to time. It's just part of it. I remember hearing the phrase years ago, for guys who want to get jacked and big, right? If you're hungry, it's already too late. And the idea was if they missed a meal or something, it's going to put their body in this crazy catabolic state, and they're going to go into starvation mode, and their body's just going to shrink down, and they're going to lose all their quote-unquote gains. And it's complete fucking bullshit. It just is. Again, I'm 6'2". I have not been under 210 pounds in probably the last 5 years. And if you guys see me in my videos, obviously I have a decent amount of muscle mass. I'm not saying I'm the biggest guy in the world, but I have some pretty, thick glutes, hamstrings, back, chest, shoulders, you name it. And, I'm going huge gaps of time without eating. So it's not going to eat away all your muscle. I can assure you guys that I'm living proof of it. The other thing I'll say is, your body is an amazing machine. It's going to adapt to various conditions. So whether you guys fast for 16 hours a day, 18 hours a day, 20 hours a day, 22 hours a day, 24 hours a day, your body's going to be okay. It will adapt to it. And short-term fasting like that, let's say 16 hours, is not going to cause major muscle breakdown. It's not going to put your body into starvation mode. Again, I typically wake up at 3:50 in the morning. I train fasted. I don't even work out until usually 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I eat no food before it. No pre-workout, no nothing. Water and coffee for sure, maybe some BCAAs, but even that, I typically do my athletic greens and all my food, post-workout, and I feel fine. I have energy. Obviously, if you guys see me training, if you train with me in person, I don't just have show muscles. They don't just look a certain way. I mean, they fucking work. I have go muscles. I have a motor. I can row, I can ski, I can bike, I can push a sled, I can run, I can lunge, I can do a lot of shit a lot of other people can't do who are eating every 2 hours. And again, there's nothing against that eating style, but I don't do it, and I feel great because of it. And what I'll say is this. You got to think of your body as like a fat-burning machine, right? It's a fat-burning furnace, man. It wants to burn fat all day, and it only stops burning fat when you start shoveling a bunch of fucking food into it. It's just the truth. And what I'll say is this. I think a lot of people think like, oh, well, I think why I'm not losing weight is because I'm not eating enough. It's a crock of shit, too. What I'll say is this. If you're not eating enough for 100 days in a row, you're going to get smaller. Hear me out here. It's about energy balance and calorie balance, right? And so if you're burning 1,500 calories a day, but you're eating 1,200, and you do that for 100 days in a row, please somebody explain to me how you're not going to lose body fat and lose weight. I'll wait for a response. It doesn't exist, is what I'm saying. Like, if I have $1,000, right? If I have 1,000 calories a day, right? If I have $1,000 a day and I'm spending $1,500 a day, or if I'm eating 1,000 calories a day, but I'm burning 1,500 calories a day, at the end of 100 days, am I going to have more weight and more money? No. You're going to weigh less and you're going to have less money. You're at a deficit. You're at an energy deficit, a calorie deficit. You have to get smaller. So again, you guys, that's the game. I know a lot of people will say that, well, I'm not eating enough and that's why I'm not losing. No, if you do that extended period of time, every single day, day after day after day, I can promise you, you will get smaller. That's a side note altogether. I'm sorry, you guys, I'm getting off point here. Number 2, a lot of people, when they make a mistake in the fasting, they think they can just eat junk food. And since they're eating, less meals in a smaller window, they can fill their body with junk. And again, like any nutritional plan, whether it's fasting or eating the traditional, 4, 5, 6 meals a day, if you eat processed junk food, you will not be successful in the long run. I can promise you that. You can't build $1 million body on the dollar menu. It's 100% true. If you guys struggle with fat loss while using intermittent fasting, the odds are there's probably some issues with your macros. And again, all these protocols work, whether it's fasting, carb backloading, paleo, gluten-free, keto, whatever it is, carnivore diet. They all work for fat loss if they put you at an energy deficit or a calorie deficit. So if you're eating less than you're burning, you're going to get smaller. Now, obviously, how the macros diversify in there is going to dictate how you guys look and ultimately probably move and feel, but for surely how you look. So again, the macros do matter. In any protocol, macros matter. Drill that in your head no matter what. And with that said, what people will do is, when they fast, they kind of go these extended periods of time, and then they go and eat 2 bags of Oreos to break their fast. That's not okay. You're not starving. Your body is fine. But with any nutritional plan, I say keep it simple, right? In simple, stupid terms, if it runs, it swims, it flies, it grows from the earth, eat that shit. If that's inside your macro ranges. If it's in a bag or a box, not saying you have to avoid it like the plague, but just use caution and eat it sparingly and plan for it. And I think that works with just about any nutritional plan. Eating meat, vegetables, healthy fats, inside macro ranges is the key to winning. And with fasting, we're just doing that in a smaller window. So again, for a lot of you guys, I think fasting while filling your body with clean, whole nutrient-dense foods can be a game changer. And again, what I'll say is this. When you guys are eating, you think like, oh, I'm going to be starving or hungry every 2 seconds. It's okay to be hungry a little bit. It just is. It's going to happen in any eating protocol, but what you're going to find out is that hunger goes in waves. It just does. You might be hungry at 10 o'clock for 15 minutes, but then by 11:30, you're fine. You're just rolling. So most of the time when people are doing that, it's because of boredom or just they're used to eating at a certain time or certain patterns, but your body's pretty resilient. And it can adapt to whatever stimulus you give it. So at first it's tough, but if you get past like the first 3 days, the first 5 days, the first week, your body's going to acclimate. And what you're probably going to find is you have more energy, you have more mental clarity, and you have more time for other shit. And your body, you feel tighter, you feel lighter, you feel leaner. You don't walk around like you have a brick in your stomach feeling like you're a bloated, constipated piece of shit, which is what I used to live with every single day. And nobody likes to go to the bathroom irregular and fart 45 times a day. It's disgusting. What you'll find is, you probably, if you're eating at the same times every single day, you're probably going to go to the bathroom a little bit cleaner, a little bit smoother, and you're less constipated and have less gas and just less uncomfortable situations as you go. The third mistake you guys, I feel people make is they're clock watching. They're waiting to binge. And again, intermittent fasting is not a pass to binge and just eat shit because you got so hangry and went too long. You have to know yourself. And for a lot of people, they start off in the 16 to 8 window. So meaning for 16 hours, they're fasting and 8 hours that they're eating every single day. So if you sleep for 8 hours a day and you stop eating 4 hours before you go to bed and wait 4 hours before you wake up, boom, you are intermittent fasting. Again, a lot of you guys are already doing this in some shape or form because you go to sleep and you don't eat all night, and then whatever time you eat in the morning, that's breaking your fast. So again, whether some of you guys are doing it for 8 hours or 12 hours, and some of you might already be doing it for 16, we're essentially just being married to a window or a time frame and eating our meals inside of there. So whether you eat 6 meals inside that window or 2 meals inside that window, it really doesn't matter because us being satisfied is not off of meal frequency, it's off meal size. So I think most people, you're going to feel fuller for longer when you're eating bigger meals at one setting. So what I'm saying is, if you're eating small meals every 6 hours, you're more likely to be hungry more often. If you eat a bigger meal of quality proteins, vegetables, and healthy fats, you're fuller for longer. So that the satiety and the satiation that you have with your brain and your gut communicating comes off of the size of the meals, not the frequency. And so again, what's going to happen is, a mistake I see people make is they go too long. They go 22 hours, but they're not used to it. And so then it's like they're hangry and all bets are off, man. They're going to grab the kids' goldfish and Teddy Grahams and they're going to drink something or, do whatever, or grab too many chips or do something because they're starving in the moment. They haven't prepared and prepped and planned for that situation. So what I tell people is, if you're not used to it, always have fluid around, coffee, water, tea, crush that shit every single day, and have some healthy snacks, whether it be beef jerky or some mixed nuts or something to tide you over. We call that bridging the gap, to get you from your office to your house, to get you from, your kids' event to your planned meal, whatever it may be, so you're not, stopping off in the drive-thru at the gas station and filling your face full of some shit because you went too long without eating. I think a lot of times we confuse being hydrated properly with hunger because they mimic the same patterns kind of in our brain and how we think about it. So what I would tell you guys is always stay hydrated, always have things around, and store some of those savor foods for you guys along the way. And again, just understand, don't be a clock watcher. A lot of times people are doing that because they're used to eating in a certain pattern or protocol. And two, people are sometimes just bored. And, once we get bored and we're not busy with our mind, we tend to focus on food and hunger and thirst a lot more than when we're busy. If you ever notice, I tell people make, the best day you eat on Monday because typically you're most busiest with work and emails and kid stuff and house chores and things like that. And all of a sudden you'll go these huge gaps without eating and all of a sudden you woke up and wow, I haven't eaten in 10 hours. And that's okay. So again, what I'm saying, you guys, is for me personally, fasting has helped me do a lot of things. It's helped me live this life and be able to be lean and feel good 24/7, 365. And if you guys do jump on the intermittent fasting train in the world, I hope you guys do it with full force. If you want to join our fasting challenge, I'm happy to have you guys. For me, it's taken my physique and my body to a whole nother level, but for me, the overall health standpoint of it has been a game changer. I just feel so much, I can't say enough, I just feel so much better doing it, and my body has, very much adapted to it at this point. I feel like a rock star. I'm the strongest, the healthiest, the happiest that I've ever been in my entire life. I have the flexibility to travel and to attend events and do whatever I choose to and not have to worry about fucking meal prep and traveling with gross, disgusting Tupperware, eating every 2 seconds, making people feel uncomfortable and gross around me, and worrying about my body, quote unquote, being in a catabolic state. Because I know at this point, it's not eating my muscle tissue away. I feel amazing, and I'm the strongest I've ever been. And I know it's not for everyone, and it might not be for you guys, but if you give it a shot, I would tell you guys, start small. Get with the coach or start with a smaller window. If you're used to right now, if you time out your meals, so do this right now. See when you go to sleep, see the last time when you eat is, and see the next time when you eat the next day, and see how big that window is. If it's 10 hours, maybe start with 12 hours at first. And then, or if you want to go full in, go fucking head first and go all into the full 16-8 and eat your meals from 10 o'clock till 6 o'clock. And if you struggle with it, just start doing it one day. Do it on Mondays. But maybe you don't do it on Tuesday and Wednesdays. Maybe you do it on Thursdays. We teach typically 3 different, popular protocols in our program to get people immersed into it. We go shallow and deep end, or we just throw people in the ocean and say, swim and see what works for you. But again, the first 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days might be the most difficult, but I promise you guys, once you get through it, you'll be better off. And what you're going to find is great flexibility and great freedom, and it allows you to eat bigger meals, which to me is the best. And what you sometimes will notice is you're going to fuck up less over time. You really are. That's probably been the biggest saving grace. I've seen it happen with my wife and people who are habitual snackers and grazers. That shit goes out the window completely. Again, I'm an overeater by nature, you guys. I can't snack. I can't graze. I'd be 300 pounds before I know it because I don't have any fucking self-control in that. This has given me a context. Essentially, it's imaginary, window of food I always eat in, and I'm kind of married to it, and I commit myself to it. And it's allowed me, as I go through the day, maybe I'm like, a little bit behind. I get my proteins, I get my fats, and I'm like, well, shit, I haven't had many carbohydrates yet today. And I can eat some of the things that normally would get me into trouble, but it's 8 o'clock at night, and I'm like, you know what, I can have a little bit of this because I'm only had 45 carbohydrates today, and now I can shove some things in. So it does buy you some flexibility and some freedom in the context of obviously macros, flexible dieting, and intermittent fasting kind of all rolled into one. So it's kind of like a hybrid, if you will. And again, at the end of the day, you guys, all these protocols work as long as they're putting you at a deficit if fat loss is a goal, or a surplus if muscle gain is a goal. But it all revolves around eating real food, having the macros in check. And for me, planning out, and again, I don't prep my food the day before, you guys. I'm over that shit. I'm not going to eat stuff that's, gross and disgusting and 3 days old. I'm just not a fan of it. I have nothing against it. It's just me personally. And I have the schedule and the time where I can make, eggs and chicken sausage and cottage cheese and cauliflower rice in about 7 minutes, so I can dedicate to that. And I eat it fresh, and it tastes better to me. But the point I'm driving at is tomorrow I'm going to wake up and know I'm going to eat either 2 meals or 1 meal. That's it. So I only have 2 or 1 choices to make. It's pretty simple. It's pretty basic. And inside that context, I know those meals are going to include proteins and healthy fats and probably some version of carbohydrates, whether it be big or small, based on my workout and my goals. That's it. And so I only got 2 chances to get it right, and I only got 2 chances to fuck it up. And so for me, the simplicity of it, the freedom of it, and the confines of just the eating window have been a game changer for me. So knowing that I don't have to worry about any food shit in my entire day until probably about 3 o'clock every single day has been very freeing for me, and it's worked out pretty well. So take that for what it's worth, you guys. Again, if you're interested in the fasting challenge, hit me up, let me know. I'm happy to throw you guys in it. I think it could be a game changer for a lot of you guys. If nothing else, you can hang out with me for 30 days in greater detail, and we can talk all things food and fasting, and we can kind of walk you through any of the baby steps and any issues or roadblocks you're going to have. And I know sometimes it's nice to have a kick-ass community and group of people and have the accountability of a coach and somebody who's been through it. And trust me, when I first started, it wasn't graceful. I fucked up a lot and got hangry a lot and did a lot of stupid shit, but I've kind of been through the ringer, and I can help you guys kind of ease into it if you want to make this a lifestyle of eating. And I think if you want to be leaner, for the rest of your life, I think this is a really nice, healthy, safe way to go about it, because it's been a lifestyle for me, and it's changed a lot of things, and I think it can do the same for you. So anything else you guys want to hear on the podcast, hit me up, let me know. I'm happy to record it, whether it be about me, nutrition, training, lifestyle stuff, anything in between. Please shoot me a DM, send me an email. And again, if you think this podcast can help anybody get a hold of their eating and start living a healthier life and having them have less stress about food and less anxiety about eating right and actually getting a hold of their fucking eating and taking charge of their health once and for all, please share this podcast with them, you guys, because the cascade effect you have and the power it has by giving people legit good information can change your life. And you guys have the power to do that with a simple click, swipe, or share. So I appreciate you guys for that. And until next time, eat well, train hard, be nice to people, and please, you guys, keep doing shit you love with people you enjoy because your life is too short not to. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.